What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. We have our DA Integra here, and we are at King Motorsports, and we are about to get this bad girl tuned, so you're gonna want to stay tuned for this one. Woohoo! All right, so we just arrived on site here at the beautiful King Motorsports in New Berlin, Wisconsin. We're gonna get this thing unloaded, and we're gonna get this thing tuned today on E85 and 91. This thing did get tuned tuned NA on E85 a few years ago. Made 180 horse. Since then, we did a 3-inch exhaust, did a different intake, different header, and we're gonna see if it makes any difference doing that stuff. Also, we're gonna see what the difference between E85 and 91 is too, to see if that even really makes much sense or not. It is kind of hard for me to get E85 in my area, so if we could just run 91 and have it not hurt us too much, that would be awesome. So we'll get her unloaded, get inside, and hopefully get this thing on the dyno today. All right, so we got the car unloaded. I already noticed an issue. I have an exhaust leak just after where the wideband O2 is, so I'm really freaking hoping that doesn't mess with the AFRs on this thing. So I tried to tighten the flange up on the trailer as much as I could. So I don't know, we'll just kind of have to run with it. So I just had a little conversation with Tim, the tuner. He put the car up on the lift, and it sounds like we're gonna have to replace that flange because he's pretty sure that that's gonna affect the air-fuel ratio, and I don't really want to have to deal with that, especially since I'm already all the way down here getting the thing tuned, and hopefully get her running here. It's probably gonna be a few hours. Yeah, it's definitely turning into a shit show. It always is, though. That's the car lifestyle. Yep. Damn cars. So we used to have a 2-bolt flange right where that weld is there. Got that cut out and put a straight piece of pipe in, and this is the piece that he cut out. So eliminated quite a bit there. So running a little short on time. They were having IT issues or something like that with their dyno. You got the exhaust piece swapped out like you saw there, and basically we're going to resort to just doing one tune. We're going to just do a 91 tune on the car. It's not really worth me doing an E85 at the moment. Not super high compression or anything like that, so for the few extra horse, it's not really worth it. So we're just going to do 191 tune on it. So hopefully we can get the car done today, so we can take the car home yet, because it's getting pretty late in the day, so Daddy's tired. So Tim is just loading up the 91 base map, and we'll hopefully hit the dyno here shortly. First time hitting the rollers. Just going through all the partial throttle stuff, checking everything. Still doing partial throttle stuff, but kind of cool to see how they have their setup here. Wild, even when he's just kind of rolling into it, not even hard, how loud those Skunk 2 cams just pop. Fucking B-Tac, bro. B-Tac. So he's gonna start doing some power runs. He just did one quick pull on it, and it's not even tuned yet, and it already made more horsepower than it did fully tuned before. This 3-inch exhaust really helped. 179.8 or some shit was what it made the last time it was here. We're already at... Oh, you'll have to wait to find out. And he hasn't even added fuel or timing or anything yet, so she's about to get spicy. And I forgot to mention that is on 91, or before we were on E85, which is just totally killer. Oh yeah. It's it's amazing when you have something that can actually flow, how much more power you can get out of it. Well, y'all, we just got off the dyno. We got her loaded up. We're gonna head home, and when we get home, I will go over all the numbers and tell you where we ended up at. All right, y'all. It has been a very long day. Finally home. It is super late. Yeah, I know why you guys are here. You're here for the numbers. So we're gonna go over that real quick here, so I can get home and go to bed because I am absolutely wiped. So we'll go over these numbers quick so you can check it out and think about maybe if this is something you want to do in the future with your car. All right, so I have a couple sheets here. What I want to kind of show you guys is basically this is a graph all by itself for today's runs, and then these are other times I've had the car tuned with different setups, so I just kind of want to show you that. So max power for the day, 193.67 and 142 foot-pounds of torque. We gained a massive amount in the mid-range for the most part. I mean, even on top, obviously, because the last time we were here, we made 179, so we did pick up quite a bit, but a lot of that was in the mid-range too. So I'm going to kind of show you these runs here. So this was today, this blue line, okay? The last time, and this is, by the way, on 91. This was on E85 with the smaller exhaust. This was with the Tanabe Medallion exhaust. You can see here, it had just some weird stuff kind of going on in the middle here, but it didn't even hit VTEC or feel as good as it does now. So in the mid-range is where we picked up a lot, and obviously we picked up a lot, you know, right on top too. And then for comparison, this was when I had my same head, but on a B16. So, I mean, that was when it was bone stock, a B16A JDM B16. Made 151 horsepower, and that was with that same Tanabe Medallion exhaust. So, kind of a crazy, you know, we went down in you know, with the fuel, which I was going into this expecting to, honestly, probably not even make as much horsepower as we did because we were on E85 before. But that exhaust made such a big difference on this car that, I mean, it literally completely opened up the entire rev range. VTEC feels way better. And then I don't know if you saw earlier in the video, he removed that flex pipe section because it was leaking. It was going to throw off the AFRs, and it just was an extra failure point. So they cut that out, basically put a straight, you know, one flange from there and welded it to the rest of the 3-inch exhaust. But I am super impressed with how that picked up power. So yeah, it's full 3-inch exhaust and a Skunk 2 version 1 header. The engine, I'll just kind of give you a quick overview of what the engine is again, but it's an LS VTEC, Skunk 2 201 cams, and the Nippon P72 version 2 flat top turbo pistons, because this thing was turboed. So it's basically a flat top GSR piston that's in it with H-beam rods. Obviously the rods don't make any power. And then I have Ferrera valve train, Skunk 2 alpha retainers, LMAs, all that stuff, and valve springs, but that stuff doesn't really make power. The biggest thing is the pistons and the cams and a really good free-flowing exhaust. So you don't want to go too big though, but I think this that's the hot ticket for this car. I am super excited to drive this thing coming up here. So hopefully we can get out and race it before the snow flies. We still have our cage coming. Tons of other goodies to get on this car before next year. So you are gonna wanna stay tuned for this build. We got actually other cars to build too. So I think you guys are gonna be super jacked to see what we have in store for you in the coming months here. So if you guys could, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I'd like to thank Tim at King Motorsports for an awesome day of tuning and all the hard work he did. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you. See ya.